What is this exciting competition?
To my nonprofit, and it's all about trying to uplift young performers, aspiring artists from age 12 to 30, called Are You the Next Showstopper? It's for singers, actors, and dancers. There's multiple winners from this competition. We're right now accepting submissions. We have Will Smith's acting coach, Beyonce's vocal coach. Are you the next showstopper?
I have to dress for Broadway. I'm dressing for Broadway today. What? Never be too much, ever. Hello and welcome back to Upgraded, where we are very honored to welcome Grammy, Emmy, and Tony nominated and award-winning pop and opera songstress, Nakenji. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. It's such an honor and to be invited on this podcast, and so exciting. And you look gorgeous. So
thank you. I mean, coming from you, thank you, thank you, thank you. You are the goddess, Diva Nakenji, glamorous with your outfits, your hair, makeup, and you're extremely talented. So all those
things. Thank you very much. Thank you. As I compete with my flower.
Your flower, it's your whole vibe is flower. You have the flowers behind you. You're just walking flower. You're like a walking flower. I love this.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much.
Please join me. Yes. Oh my goodness. Fantastic. Gorgeous.
Yeah.
Okay, I won't even try to sing. You know me. I am not the singer here. You are the singer, but
oh my goodness! But you were sounding good. You said gorgeous. Yes.
That's what I meant to say. That is exactly how I meant to say it. But thank you. Thank you for delivering. Okay. Yeah. Oh, girl.
Loving the shades. Yes, I'm feeling this.
Okay.
Just walk every day. Just walk down the streets just with shades all the time.
Me too. Shades.
Just adds another layer of fabulousness. It's just like
it does.
Heightens everything up. You're like, what? Excuse me?
It's a whole vibe. It's a whole vibe.
Yes.
I literally have my collection of sunglasses for the subway, everything.
Mm-hmm.
Just for my life, just for wherever I'm going, indoors, outdoors.
Yeah, we just can't go to sleep in them. Or
that's
could
right.
we?
Okay. Unless we're on first class and we're trying to get the sunlight out of our eyes.
We could.
Oh yes.
I don't know.
Okay, so here's my here it is. I love vacation. I love holiday, and I love traveling for that reason. Not necessarily work, even though work travel can be fun as well. But if you were going anywhere right now on a vacation, where would we be going?
Wow. Well, then, one of my favorite spots. I love warm weather. I love the beach. I love relaxation. So I would say the Cayman Islands.
Wow, I've never been.
Yes. And the water is perfect. It's so perfect. I am one of those people that I kind of dress up for the beach, but never get into the water because the water is too cold. But I'm still taking selfies as if I'm the beach. You know what I mean? I'm like, it's content, darling. It's content. Let's take more pictures, right? But Cayman Islands, baby, I will be in that water in 2 seconds because the water's perfect. Not cold. It's just great. It's great. So that's the one place that I can literally like run into water and live my life and feel at home and not feel like, oh my God, my feet, so the Cayman Islands.
My boyfriend, Chris, has been there and he's like, this is definitely going to be on our list of vacations at some point. And he said the same thing, that it's just complete. It's so serene and the sand and everything about it is just very relaxing. And the water temperature is so perfect.
Yes, it is. That was one of my location spots that I used for my music video for Goosebump Moment.
Now we're going to get to business. Vacation is a very important part of my well-being. So,
yes.
I know it is for you too. I see that, I think that living in New York, just real quickly, I was going to say living here in New York City, as you are some of the time, I would say it's one of those places where I feel very compelled to go on a relaxing vacation when I go on vacation versus going to a really, really busy city or something.
Yes, I completely understand that. So you have a change. So you're not like, okay, I'm in New York, let's go to Chicago. Or let's go to, yeah, I mean, the idea is that let's go somewhere where you feel like you're on a vacation.
Agreed. Very much agreed. So you are actually on a cruise ship right now.
Yes, I am the headliner for the Ritz-Carlton yacht, and I'm on the Ritz-Carlton for a week. I'm literally in my suite right now. I flew into Lisbon, Portugal. I got to stay in Lisbon for a night and was there for 2 days, enjoying the beautiful city. Love Lisbon. I think of Lisbon as like a combination of Paris, Bucharest, and Prague.
Wow.
And so it's just I just don't think as popular as those other cities, but when people do come to Lisbon, like I can't imagine someone not falling in love with this city. It's beautiful. It has the old city, it has the cobblestones, the water, beaches. And so then I got onto the yacht in Lisbon after spending the weekend in that beautiful city. And then we our first stop was Tangier, Morocco, and was there today. And it was my first time there. I've been to Marrakesh for a wedding of a friend of mine many years ago. And so it was really nice to come back to Morocco. And then we're going to Ibiza and Barcelona. And so I'm not complaining about these amazing stops that I'll be getting to get off and enjoy the city and come back. So I do two shows. I have two shows that I created throughout the week. The first show is called Lights of Broadway, songs from Motown, Tina, Wicked, and more. And it really is a journey of my life that I share with the guests and sing songs like Proud Mary to Greatest Love of All to Defying Gravity, One Night Only. There's so many songs that I get to do. And after that, I follow it up with another concert a few days later, which is called Forever Summer. And it's a tribute to Donna Summer and how.
Oh my gosh, I love Donna Summer too. I mean,
Love Donna Summer.
every single person you're mentioning are just my favorite, all my favorites.
Yes, yes. And I'm a big disco fan. And so I do a Donna Summer concert, and that is sort of a culmination of my music, and I talk about my life and I talk about my connection to these legends. And then after that, I get to enjoy the rest of the time just, relaxing, and not always relaxing. I'm usually doing a lot of work trying to catch up on things because when I'm home, I'm a mom and a producer and doing so many different things and juggling so many different things in my schedule that when I get to do a cruise ship, then it actually gives me a little time to kind of catch up. So when I get back home, I'm like, okay, I'm up to date now.
I never have thought about that before as far as, I mean, I'm not, a singer and I don't work on cruise ships, but I was going to say that is actually a very interesting and wonderful kind of just breather for you in a way where you get to work, have truly a working vacation in a sense.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, it's truly a vacation. I'm, having moments where I can just relax, and then, I can make my own time, my own schedule versus having to, not that I don't love being home, of course I do, but it's, as we would say, me time, right? So I have a little more me time when I'm doing these ships than when I'm at home and working and performing.
Okay, so there's just so many things to talk about. First of all, I know you just recently recorded 2 live albums.
Yes, there is a lot, and I'm very excited about it. I really wanted to do something different when it came to releasing music, like the first presentation of me as a solo artist. I have been on multiple cast albums, Broadway cast albums that have gotten Grammy nominations. And it's been really wonderful. Yes, thank you. Really wonderful to be a part of these projects that have gotten such a high recognition in the music world. I mean, the Grammys is the highest recognition you
That is beyond imagination, my wildest dreams.
And I got to go to the Grammys when the cast album for Carolina Change got nominated. So it really was such a wonderful experience being there. And just to be nominated was a huge, huge honor for the entire cast of Carolina Change. And so when it was time for me to put out something that was of me as a solo artist, I know that I love to perform on stage. I love to interact with the audience on stage. I love to get them to participate in certain things while I'm on stage, which is something that you can't possibly have when you're doing a studio recording. And so I decided when I got chosen to headline the Ella Fitzgerald Festival at the Ferguson Center for the Arts.
Amazing.
Thank you. I was able to bring my band with me and also have my daughter there. So her and I actually do a duet that's going to be on the album. Yes. And it's a chance to capture. I decided I wanted to have that performance be a live album. I wanted to capture that live performance on a record. And there's such a big difference when we're literally right now mixing and mastering the album. We had to hire additional engineers so that everything could be recorded specifically for an album versus just doing a concert where you have your microphones and your monitors and that's it. But we had to have additional microphones for each instrument, and then everything was recorded on like a multi-track so that my my mixer mastering guru Tony Shepard out in LA was able to put everything together. So it's really a big how can I say, big, important, but also very personal project for me, because it really is the first time I'm putting myself out as for an album. Like I have a few recordings that I've done, but I never put them out commercially. I would make a couple of albums just to sell when I'm doing concerts, but they were never put out like on Spotify and really commercially doing a Grammy campaign around it or trying to really push it out with PR and radio promotion, all that stuff. So this is the first time, and it's called Center Stage, and it's honoring all jazz standards and some originals, tipping my hat to Ella Fitzgerald and Dinah Washington and Billie Holiday, and adding my own essence into these songs that have been so celebrated for so many years and covered by so many different artists, male and female, in the jazz arena. And so I'm really excited to bring out some great arrangements. I've worked with some amazing arrangers on this album, and we have our own takes on Stormy Weather and Too Darn Hot, and there's an original song by Ray Davis called The Woman in Me. And so I'm just really excited for the world to hear this project that is a masterpiece to me, no matter what anybody else says, because when you put so much thought and so much passion and so much time and love into something, then it really is your own personal masterpiece, your own personal diary that you're now allowing the world to take in.
When you create things with love like that, with your own passion, people hear it. They feel it. Everyone who was at the concert heard it and felt it. But what's really extraordinary is that then you also have your disco side. It's so phenomenal. I mean, really, it's truly extraordinary.
I have a tendency of wanting to do lots of things all simultaneously. And so that concert that I did at the Ella Fitzgerald Festival also was an ode to the disco arena. And my second half of the concert, I did a variety of disco songs honoring Donna Summer. So I did this live album concert, 2-hour concert that we did from jazz to disco, so that I can then have 2 albums, one that's going to be jazz that we're pushing now and we're releasing during the summertime in June, and then there's going to be another album, which is a disco album, following up. So just in case you wanted more jazz, we're going to give you a little disco instead. So I'm excited about that. It's, you know, a completely different vibe, different texture, different genre, and I'm delighted to be able to have two different projects from one concert.
That's so special. You were talking about connecting with your audiences, and when you're performing and you get the audience involved and you're able to do that with these shows, with these very personal shows, is that when you feel the most connected?
Absolutely. Absolutely. When I get to kind of break that wall and talk to them, I mean, I immediately start talking to them, you know, as soon as they get on stage. Like usually I'll start a song and afterwards, you know, like just say, how is everyone doing tonight? You know, like, and just really engage with them immediately. So it's no surprise when I ask them to sing with me later on in Minnie the Moocher because we've already established a rapport of connecting with one another.
I love that so much. Now you also have your single, Goosebumps Moment.
It was going to be from a studio album that I was going to release. And so this just shows that, you know, you can be in the middle of something and then just totally switch gears. And that's okay, especially if switching gears becomes something that has a more special and unique purpose behind it. So Goosebump Moment was a single that I released, and the idea was to release it as a single from a forthcoming studio album that I was going to record. And so I released Goosebump Moment last March, and that was really based on the fact that I was singing for China TV during their Chinese New Year, and it was televised for, oh my gosh, like 883 million viewers in China. Yes. And I had performed Goosebump Moment. And because of that platform and performing Goosebump Moment, I wanted to make sure that Goosebump Moment was available for people to stream. So that was one of the main reasons on why we released it as a single, because I had this amazing opportunity to perform the song in front of so many viewers. I wanted them to be able to have access to the song after they saw my performance. So that was why I released it. So the intention was never to release that song. It just happened that last minute they wanted me, instead of covering songs that were pre-existing songs of other artists, they asked, do you have any original music? We would actually prefer for you to perform one of your original songs for China TV than doing a cover. So I was like, of course I have original songs, but I never thought that they would have wanted me to perform that. And so there I am with this amazing opportunity to perform my original music and also do opera in that concert. It was at Cipriani's in downtown. And after that, I was like, well, then this is going to be airing. I should probably have this music available online. And so that is what I did. And so then that was kind of the driving force of, I should do an album. I should do an album, you know? I've been doing so many live performances and cast albums that I never had done my own album. So I thought, okay, so if I put this out as a single saying that it's coming from a forthcoming album, then that's going to give me the fire of making sure I complete an album, because I had lots of music to do. I have a lot of original music that I'd love to put out. But then when I had the Ella Fitzgerald Festival presented to me, and I've been doing a lot of jazz concerts lately at a lot of different venues in New York City, like the Jazz Club at the Amman Hotel and the Django and Roxy Hotel, and, you know, they're Birdland. I mean, there's so many different venues that people have been hearing me do jazz. And when I got the Ella Fitzgerald concert, I said, maybe I should how about just doing a live album concert, you know? And so I actually did Goosebump Moment live at that concert, had it a little more of a jazz flavor because it was done acoustically versus in the studio. And so we have the Goosebump Moment live on the album, and then we also have the Goosebump Moment that is kind of separate. It's a standalone single. And then I'm going to have my Jazz Center Stage album coming out in the next month. So it's sometimes you have these plans that don't always end up exactly how you had initially planned it, but now it's turned into such a plan that I'm such more excited about, and being able to do an album that was live from a concert was so thrilling and exciting for me. So people can feel that energy when they're listening to it.
You have 2 albums coming out. When do you think they'll be ready?
So the Center Stage album is set to be released in June. So this June, like almost in a month. It's still in April. Like we only have like 2 more days of April, and then so mid-June is when I'm releasing it. So in about 6 weeks.
Perfect. Amazing.
I even have online, people can actually go and do pre-orders of the album. Yes.
So is that on your website?
So a portion of the funds is being dedicated and donated to my nonprofit foundation. So if you go to the shop of nikenjifoundation.org, you'll find the album there and you can do a pre-order. And I'm going to also connect a link to my website and my Instagram as well. So people can find it in multitude platforms, not just in nikenjifoundation.org, but also on my Instagram account and also on nikenjimusic.com.
You are so good about posting information on your Instagram. So if they can't remember anything, they need to go there because it just is the Ep7 information.
Exactly.
It's very user-friendly for contacting you or getting information.
Yes, it's, and I connected to Linktree, so it's very easy. And even with my website, my Nikenji website, when it says, like, you scroll down and it says, find out more information about tours, I just connected to Linktree because it's like, why recreate the wheel? Why try and create another platform to add more dates to when you could just have Linktree that connects to your Instagram, connects to your website, connects to, and I am not a sponsor for Linktree. Just so happens. But if you want to sponsor me, Linktree, I'm here. I'm available.
You heard that, Linktree. She's available. Okay. Reach out, please. I want to ask you something. When did you first start singing? When was your aha moment? You realized I am a singer.
Yes, that would be when I was 10 years old. I was playing the piano for my 5th grade auditions. There were singers who were trying to get the roles of Snoopy, Charlie Brown, Lucy, Patty. I mean, they were doing You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown. I wasn't really a singer. I was more of a dancer and pianist, and I was humming this tune of the song that everyone was auditioning with because it was a song that wasn't part of the You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown score. It was a song that our teacher took out from Snoopy, the musical. And it was such a cool song. And I was singing it during one of the breaks, and my teacher overheard me singing it. And she said, "Nikenji, sing that again." And I sang it. And I got cast as, Peppermint Patty.
Oh my gosh, your teacher.
5th grade teacher at PS 95 in Bronx, New York.
What's your teacher's name?
Barbara Hartnick, and I'm still in touch with her. I love her.
Oh my, I love her.
Yes.
Barbara.
Yes. If it wasn't for Miss Hartnick, I mean, I do believe in destiny. So something would have, if that moment wasn't the moment that made that change, there would have been another moment later down the road. But I truly do feel that was that right moment at the right time, that pivotal moment where I realized this was something I wanted to do. And I got a standing ovation at PS 95. And that was the moment when I realized at 10 years old that if I can make all these people this happy, then this was something I wanted to do for the rest of my life.
I'm going to cry. This is so touching.
Yes.
That's beautiful. That's so beautiful. Nikenji, so touched. You had a standing ovation. I mean, if that's not magic, I don't know what it is.
Yeah. 10 years old, having that moment, I just can't, I can't explain to you how that feels, in the body of a 10-year-old who has never performed like as a really upfront. Like I did piano recitals and things like that. And so that was really beautiful and enriching for me as an individual, but there was something very special about the singing.
And the spark was lit and the fire went off.
I was like, okay, we know what I'm doing.
And Diva and Kenji was born.
Yes, 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 yes.
You have such a vocal range. How did you discover you have this range?
I discovered I had this range when I needed to work. Listen, I mean, I'm just being real right now, right? You can't put yourself in, like, pigeonhole yourself in one category, right? So I just remember, well, first of all, I was a pop. I grew up, my parents were always listening to like Motown music and all the R&B, soul. So that's what I really grew up in and loved it. So even when I started taking private voice lessons and my teacher had heard something in my voice that was different and needed more attention to, she started training me classically. And also said that the classical training was going to give me that technique for anything else I wanted to do. So I was being trained classically, but still loving the R&B pop music, right? And so I was just kind of, keeping that same. I would sneak and do a R&B song, even though my voice teacher was like, I think you need to just focus on classical. No, that didn't really happen. I would start doing auditions, and auditions would say, okay, well, we need someone who can do some jazz. Okay, well, I'll learn how to do some jazz. We need a singer who can do musical theater. So I start getting a little more exposed into musical theater. So now I feel no matter what it is, I can bring my versatility to so many different projects, and then also ask people, like, when they hire me for private events or they want me to do a concert, I always have to ask, like, what type of music are you looking to do? Because I can do a lot. So, do you have a preference? And some people want a variety. They want the versatility. They absolutely want to be able to have a section where they're hearing some jazz and blues, and another section where you're throwing in some musical theater, and another section where there's opera. And I loved performing opera. Opera really took me around the world. After I would do these summer programs while I was in college. I sang in Israel, I sang in Germany, I sang in Italy, I sang in Spain. I mean, I also would do international competitions. So I never was afraid to just pick up and go. And that was definitely because of the support system I had from my parents. But, it was never a question like, oh, should I not sing that style of music? I'm like, yeah, let's do this. Okay.
Absolutely.
So,
You've been in a lot of Broadway productions. What's one of your favorite memories of Broadway or that you could share with us?
oh, wow. There's so many, but one memory really trumps all the other memories because she was such a legend. I loved getting to meet Miss Aretha Franklin. Came to see the performance, Motown the musical, when I was starring in the role of Mary Wells. And then she came back for a second performance and brought flowers for me. Like there were this huge bouquet of flowers that I got from Aretha Franklin.
So
Okay.
obsessed with her.
Yes. And then I got to meet her and celebrated her birthday. She invited the entire cast to celebrate her birthday in New York City. So like this wasn't just like an experience on stage, but like it turned into this life experience of being able to share that space with this legend and hear that she used to be like the best of friends with Mary Wells.
Oh my gosh.
Who knew? Yes. So they were great friends in Detroit.
Well, it's a small world.
It is a small world. It is. And I think, and Aretha Franklin's from Detroit and was definitely connected to the Motown family and sound. And, everyone just assumed that she was on the record label, but she wasn't. But, She was from Detroit. She was the sound of Detroit along with the Motown sound. So hearing these stories and knowing that we brought so much magic to that stage to make this iconic woman, Queen of Soul, come to the show multiple times and come with gifts for us was, I can't even, there's no other experience that I can think of that could be more magical than that one.
What a life experience.
Yes, absolutely. I loved meeting her. So that is an experience that I will never forget.
Thank you for sharing that. What is this exciting competition that you have going on?
Yes, we have a competition through my nonprofit, and it's all about trying to uplift kids, young performers, aspiring artists from age 12 to 30. And we are also flexible with those age groups because we have a few people who are, let's say, 31, 32. Like, okay, of course, you're if you, it's fine. Like, it's not like cut off at 30, right? Or cut off at 12 if there's an 11-year-old that really wants to have that opportunity. So we started this competition called Are You the Next Showstopper? And it's all about triple threats or being so great in your field that you just blow the roof off when it comes to your magical voice or dancing or acting. It's for singers, actors, and dancers. And the winners, there's multiple winners from this competition. You can win a People's Choice Award where everyone from the audience gets to choose who
Oh my God.
they like the best, and then that's $500. And then the grand prize is going to Paris, an intensive 15-day excursion where you get to work with the best of the best. I'm a professor there. We have some other Juilliard alumni professors. We have Will Smith's acting coach, Beyonce's vocal coach, some amazing dance faculty. During that time, while we're doing workshops and lessons and master classes, they also get the opportunity to audition for casting agents and managers.
Wow.
Looking for artists for their roster or for specific projects that they're working on. And it culminates at the very end of that 15 intensive day festival, performing at the Majestic Theater, which was made famous by Josephine Baker.
Of course. Oh my.
Yes.
Congratulations
We
on
also have excursions that go to Moulin Rouge and see the Eiffel Tower. And so we're really excited. It's our very first year doing this. And when I got asked to be a professor and performer at this festival, I thought, how can I create something that gives some lucky individuals that would not normally have a platform to be able to even be exposed to a festival like this? How can I do that? And so we worked really hard in putting this together. And so for me, we're right now accepting submissions. We extended the deadline because of spring break, and everyone has different spring breaks.
right.
And the final, we're basically choosing our finalists from the submissions, and you can submit through nikenjifoundation.org and go there, and it'll kind of walk you through. And May 17th at the Off-Broadway Theater 555 is where we are holding the live competition. We're also packing it with a few workshops in the morning time so that all of our finalists not just get to perform and make their off-Broadway debut, because a lot of them haven't performed on off-Broadway before. So I wanted it to be at an off-Broadway theater so that when they made to the finals, they're making an off-Broadway theater debut. And then I also wanted them to have access to workshops where it's pitching and marketing yourself, doing dance combos, learning how it is to be on Broadway as a swing and understudy, versus doing a leading role. So sometimes we don't some of these young performers, they audition, you don't immediately just land the lead role, but
Right.
there's many times where you are in the ensemble and you're covering the lead, or you're in the ensemble, or you're swinging, or you're a standby. There's so many different layers of roles that you can play when you're doing these musicals or plays, right? And so that day is going to be the day that we do the competition and we do these workshops, and three lucky deserving winners will get full ride, all expense paid, going to Paris. We cover their housing, their food, their airfare,
Oh my gosh.
yes. So it's our first year, and we hope that we can continue this on an annual basis. And we're really excited. We've gotten a lot of applicants thus far, and going through these videos, it's so hard because there's only but so many people that are going to make it to the finals, and there's so much talent out there. I'm really, really excited.
Can people from anywhere apply for it?
Yes, anywhere. It's a national competition.
Okay.
Yes.
So anywhere in the United States.
Anywhere in the United States, as long as they can get themselves, if they make the finals, they do have to get themselves to New York, And so if they're in New York, it's open for everybody. And as long as you are aspiring to be a singer, dancer, or actor, this is a competition for you.
That is such a beautiful competition. What is the name of the event? The name of the competition?
Are you the next showstopper?
Are you the next showstopper?
Yes. And so we're making t-shirts that say, I am a showstopper. Yes. Yes. So
Very-
it's really it's going to be fun. We are preparing as we speak. We're getting it out to the press. We're trying to get as many schools involved too, and just get it out to everyone so that people understand that this is such a wonderful platform for our youth, and pre-professional, because someone who's 30, which is why we have them in different categories. We can't have a 12-year-old competing against a 30-year-old. But just because you are out of college doesn't mean you are immediately booking work. I mean, we're still studying. Even after college, you're still trying to work on your craft. So having an
I'm still
opportunity.
working on my craft, and we're all just evolving. We're all doing our best,
Exactly.
like grow and learn and
Mhm.
keep learning and keep challenging ourselves. So I think it's great though. I think that age group, what you're doing is so awesome. Like it's such a good. Is there anything else you'd like to share about yourself or want people to know about you on your journey?
Wow. There are a multitude of projects that I'm working on that we didn't talk about just because there's just not enough time in the day.
Yep.
Not enough time. But I am also working on a Broadway bound musical based on Dorothy Dandridge's life. It's Dorothy Dandridge the musical, and I'm working with a Grammy, Emmy, and Tony winning creative team. Tamara Tooney is the director of it.
I love
Yes.
her.
Isn't she amazing? She's
Yes.
amazing. She's an amazing director, producer, actress, singer. I mean, she does it all. And she is directing the musical that we are developing. And we also have Shelton Becton, who is a composer, and then Trey Ellis, who is the book writer as well as co-lyricist with Shelton Becton. We performed at Carnegie Hall, we performed at the New York Theater Festival, and now we are now at that point where we're trying to do a regional production before moving it to New York, or possibly considering an off-Broadway production and shepherding it to Broadway in that route. And I just think that her story, her legacy, the music, the book of this, the direction is so worthy of being on Broadway. It's about a 15 cast show with singer and dancers, and it's really celebrating her life, her music, her love for her daughter, her screen and dancing and singing career. I mean, she was a true triple threat and became an international star from the movie Carmen Jones that she got nominated for an Oscar for. And so that is one of the big projects that I'm working on. We have some theaters that are looking at doing a production next season. And then I'm also working on a television show called Black Butterfly, working with my TV producer, Gina Goff. And we are trying to get it picked up with one of the networks to greenlight it. It's a dramedy. It pushes the envelope when it comes to like what's reality and what's not. We have some dream sequences that happens in a show, and it's all music, that's bass. It's kind of like, I always say it's a mixture of Glee meets Smash meets Empire meets Ally McBeal.
Oh, wow. Oh, that's a good combination. Every single I'm obsessed with.
Exactly. Yeah. So I'm really excited about that project as well. So I'm very much about producing and creating and performing, in these projects as well, and just uplifting everyone around me who want to take part in these projects, and inspiring people, for the nonprofit organization, which is what we started a year ago. It's all about uplifting these stories and these legacies, as well as especially the BIPOC stories, and also giving opportunities to our youth through projects that we bring to the schools. We've been going into many schools and giving a 3-tier program which celebrates Dorothy Dandridge's life. So these kids know about Dorothy Dandridge as we prepare the show for Broadway. And then we also talk about mental health and awareness. And we also do financial literacy, so that it's across the board. It's not just music, but it's about your mental stability and mindfulness, and how you socialize with your peers, as well as financial literacy and awareness of being able to save your money and invest and making money. And it's never too late to be able to have that knowledge of that.
That's right. We have to keep learning. It's never too
Yes.
late. That's right.
Never too late.
And even if you make mistakes,
Early and never too late.
Okay, on that beautiful note, I'd like to ask is if you would be willing to share a couple notes with us, because I know everyone is going to want to hear you sing a little bit. I know they all have to go and buy the albums and everything, but a little tidbit of anything would be such a treat.
Of course. One of the first songs that open my album, Center Stage, is a song called Swonderful. That's been covered by a lot of different jazz artists. So I'll do a little snippet of Swonderful just to get people's taste buds wet when it comes to listening and wanting to go to the social media to do their pre-orders. And that is Swonderful, marvelous, you should care for me. Soft, nice, paradise, 's what I love to see. You've made my life so glamorous. From now on, my heart's beating amorous. Oh, wonderful, marvelous, that you should care for, that you should care for, that you should care for me.
Yeah! That's so awesome!
Thank you.
Magnificent. That was wonderful.
Stupendous, marvelous. Yes.
You are a treat. You are a gem. Like I said, you are the gem of Broadway. Now, to end the show, what I'd like to do is I love to have, let's see, if you have your glass nearby, our little sparklings, whatever, I'd love to take a moment and just every day of my life, I like to celebrate the small things, not just the big things, but the small things. What's something you'd like to toast to today and celebrate?
That's easy. I want to toast to having a beautiful, beautiful family that I can call my own. My daughter, Jazara, Martina, and my husband, Simeon Pakarar. I wouldn't be here without the love and support that I get from those two beautiful angels that I get to call my family.
I am celebrating them with you.
Cheers.
Now, I would like to tell everyone to please go to nkenji.org or to, okay, say it, you say it, go ahead.
It's okay, no worries. So we have nikenjimusic.com, nikenjifoundation.org. So those are the two websites. I have my nonprofit foundation, which you can also get my CDs from, and I have my music page, which is nikenjimusic.com. And of course, I'm on social media as Diva Nikenji on Twitter, on Instagram, TikTok, and Nikenji's Music on Facebook.
Beautiful. All those sites, look at everything, sign up for everything. As you just heard, you'll be treated to this music and to this gift of this energy. And it's been such a gift having you on today. Thank you so much for sharing all of your visions and creations and your music and your talent, and for spending this time with me and sharing with all of us.
Thanks so much for having me.